Our focus for this community is about achieving alignment, creating connection, and empowered execution. It's not one thing. It's about understanding the entire journey and how your own personal journey, how you can use that in ways that create more of the life you want and to positively impact people. And one of the biggest challenges I've seen in those last 5 years doing transformational work with my clients at the Bridge to Fulfillment, and also personally, is when we grow and expand, that creates sometimes some scenarios that can be challenging with our family members and other people. And having some tools to understand, how do you navigate that? How do you allow people their own journey while also remaining true to what you know, while also wanting to help people in the way that you know, I think is such an important topic. And I'm excited that we'll be able to dive in so much more in this group in that, because I think there's a lot of nuances and there's a lot of things that really matter. And one of the things that I know to be true about us and our approach that I think is very different than a lot of other people's is there are a lot of people out there that will give you black and white, do this and do that. This is the only way that things are done. And what I have come to know to be true, and I think you have as well, is that very rarely are those true experts. And also very rarely does that actually solve the root cause. So in this journey, I'm excited for our ability to be able to help people explore and understand the nuances, how to actually understand these concepts and then apply them themselves and begin to be able to build the skills to do this work. Because to me, I've been spending all this time, last 5 years, helping people gain clarity and align their life and become empowered. But for me, there's also been this element of, I don't want to just help somebody do it once, because clarity and alignment evolve as you evolve and you grow. And I think in my heart is, how do I help people align? And then how do I help teach them the things so that they can learn how to become more aligned, more clear, and lead more fulfilling lives? And it does really come down to those three concepts that we talk about: alignment, connection, and empowerment or empowered action. And so this is just the beginning of many discussions, I think, of us being able to share our personal journeys and help people gain those skills. And I think that this is so needed in so many ways.
I think when you were just talking, what I really realized in one, we know that there's a lot of synergy between the topics and the way we work with our clients, because alignment is part of mine too. I'd say for me, it's capacity. I help people grow capacity. But when you were talking, I was realizing we both are able to, it's really perspective, right? That there's, because you said something about the journey of your experience and my experience, right? So we have our own individual perspectives, but I think the ability that we both have is to be able to pull out and see multiple perspectives, which allows us to see what the synergy is between us and be able to collaborate instead of look at each other as competitors, as often most people do. But when you can grow your capacity, when you're fully aligned with what value you bring to the world, and then you can have that objective perspective on all the people in our world and all the people around us, or the many people around us that were that would fit really well. And that's, synergistic with what we're talking about. I think kind of as the umbrella, just because of perspective, I think of going high, but also foundational is not just a single perspective, but how far out of the box can we go to see all the little boxes around that are,
And the bigger story, I think much of my life, I've looked and felt like people were putting Band-Aids on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it was always clear to me that was never the solution. And that was the Band-Aid. We're solving these really small problems, but it's like somebody putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs 10 stitches. And I think in life, that's what's happening across the board all of the time. For me, I always saw and was like, no, you need 10 stitches.
Yeah.
And what I have come to really appreciate about our experience is I think that you have a gift in really connecting to the body. And a lot of the work that you've done from a mindfulness standpoint connects people back to their body. And my gift is really around emotions and how you're thinking about things. And I think that there's something beautiful about being able to bring the two together, because in and of itself, right, holistically, all of those things point to the same thing, which again speaks to the fact of there's a million different doorways. And for different people, they need different doorways, but understanding conceptually that all these things are the same, they're pointing to the same exact thing, I think is incredibly powerful.